Welcome to episode number 3 of Best on Tour this week, where we talk about what happened on the water and in the industry in professional bass fishing. I am Matt Pangrac, along with my co-host Dave Rush from Best on Tour. And Dave, it is Bassmaster Classic week.
It is, man. Seems like it was just here last year, but we are approaching Bassmaster Classic, kicking off next week in Fort Worth.
It actually was there in 2021. Hank Cherry won the first of his 2 classics on Ray Roberts with a total weight of 50 pounds, 15 ounces. A little bit of a unique format for Classic Week. They have 3 days of practice, followed by 3 off days, followed by an official day of practice Wednesday, another off day on Thursday, and then competition kicks off Saturday or Friday through Sunday. But the story of this Classic so far, Dave, has been the weather.
Absolutely, Matt. If you're a fan of any of the Elite Series pros on social media, if you follow them, you saw all of the horror stories from practice. Gusts up to 60 miles an hour. A little bit calmer today, but it seems like the wind is coming back for the last official practice day.
It definitely is. Wednesday's official practice day. Winds will be out of the northwest, 20 to 30 with gusts up to 40. And then the first day of competition, sustained winds of 20 to 30 out of the south with gusts of over 40 before it's just a nice calm 10 to 20 mile an hour winds out of the southeast and southwest for the final 2 days of Classic competition. Somewhere where it will not be windy, though, is in the Bassmaster Classic Expo.
Absolutely. If you are planning on attending the Classic, I would highly suggest that you check out the Classic Expo, March 21st through 23rd at the Fort Worth Convention Center. Hours Friday. If you are a Life or Bass Nation member, you get in at 11 a.m. till noon. General public, noon to 7. Saturday opens up at 10, closes at 6, and final day, Sunday, 10 to 4. So a lot of cool stuff to see there. Matt and I will both be in attendance. If you see us, come say hello, please, and check out all the great stuff that's going to be on display at the expo this year.
All right, just because it is Bassmaster Classic Week doesn't mean that the tournaments stop on the water. The MLF Tackle Warehouse Invitational was out of Green Pond Landing on Lake Hartwell, and it turned into a family affair as Mitchell Robinson takes the win with 53 pounds, 13 ounces of bass over a 3-day total. Quite the weekend for the Robinson family.
Yeah, Mitchell coming off a 20th place finish points-wise in the Invitationals in 2024. His brother Marshall finishes 5th. Dad Marty finishes 32nd. A total of $140,000 taken home to the Robinson household from Lake Hartwell over the weekend. So I would say those guys are in a pretty good mood.
A lot of the families in fishing had great weeks with old school professional anglers and their sons on the water.
Yeah, Brett Myers Jr. Hopped in that Hartwell Invitational there. He finished 38th. Chris and Cal Lane both competed, so father and son competing there as well. And Jackson Rabanis, Fred Rabanis, his son, finished 4th in a BFL on Lake Hamilton this weekend. So the apple does not fall far from the tree, and a lot of great young anglers coming up that are children of BPT and Elite Series pros.
Last week, I mentioned an incredible streak of 6 consecutive weeks that Drew Gill had top 11 finishes. He stretched that to 7 this past week. He finished 4th with 51 pounds, 7 ounces. So 7 consecutive weeks in MLF competition between the BPT, the Toyota Series, and the Invitationals, and 7 consecutive top 15 finishes. Very impressive for Drew Gill. Over in the Bass Nation, there was a regional that took place on Pickwick, and another very young, talented angler ran away with this one. Dylan Nutt, 77 pounds, 6 ounces, primarily of smallmouth, to punch his ticket to the national championship later this year in La Crosse.
Yeah, Nutt has definitely got Pickwick dialed in. He, if you remember, came off a 3-day total record in the Central Series Toyota Series that he won. 3-day total record of 84.4. So Nutt has definitely got Pickwick dialed in right now, and keeping his streak rolling by taking home the win this weekend.
All right, some interesting news in the industry impacting ICAST, which takes place in the middle of July in Orlando, Florida. One noticeable absence this year, though, Dave.
Yeah, Pure Fishing announced this week that they will not be attending ICAST this year. That is if you've ever been to ICAST or know much about it, Pure Fishing is always one of the big players at ICAST, big booth, big space, and they have opted out of ICAST this year. They've opened a brand new headquarters in Charleston, South Carolina with a showroom, and they're going to start having people over to the showroom and just shifting their resources and doing a little something different. So always things changing in the industry. Pure Fishing opting out of ICAST. Pretty big news.
We mentioned it before. Both Dave and I will be at the Bassmaster Classic Expo all 3 days. If you see us, stop, say hi. But before you do that, become a better angler, get behind the scenes on some of the top fishing tours, and learn the business side of the fishing industry and how to get sponsorship. The Best on Tour newsletter brings you all that once a week, completely free. Sign up now at bestontour.net. We'll see you next week, Dave.
See you next week, Matt.